Why Vladimir Putin is the richest man in the world, trillionaire. Who is Vladimir Putin, and why is this name so familiar? Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin is a Russian politician and former intelligence officer who has served as the president of Russia since 2012. He was also the prime minister of Russia from 1999 to 2000 and again from 2008 to 2012. On paper, Russian President Vladimir Putin seems like a humble statesman with a modest income. However, the Kremlin claims that Putin earns an annual salary of $140,000. His publicity-disclosed assets include an 800-square-foot apartment, a trailer, and cars. But according to some experts, he may be the wealthiest man in the world, with assets totaling up to $200 billion. Owns $1.4 billion Black Sea mansion, Putin is rumored to be the owner of a beautiful 190,000-square-foot mansion sitting atop a cliff that overlooks the Black Sea. This coastal property is the country's largest private residence and in his private palace, endearingly called Putin's Country Cottage. The estate is Putin's playland, boasting frescoed ceilings, a marble swimming pool lined with statues of Greek gods, a 27,000-square-foot guest house, spas with traditional hammams, a musical parlor, dressing rooms for all his staff, an amphitheater, a state-of-the-art ice hockey rink, a Vegas-style casino, a nightclub equipped with stripper poles, a bar room showcasing more than $100,000 of wine and spirits, an underground tasting room overlooking the water, and much more. Most of the mansion is reportedly decorated by an exclusive luxury Italian brand called Citerio Atena, including Louis XIV-style sofas, $500,000 in dining room furniture, and a $54,000 bar table. It even has decked-out bathrooms with fancy $850 Italian toilet brushes and $1,250 toilet paper holders. On top of all the extravagant furnishings, an annual $2 million is spent just to maintain the property's landscaping by a 40-person staff. Beside his Black Sea mansion, he also has 19 other houses and 700 cars, along with quite a few other interesting assets that make him the alleged trillionaire that he is. Putin has a collection of 58 aircraft and helicopters, including a $716 million plane called the Flying Kremlin with a gold toilet. This is not surprising, considering his taste for grandiose, neoclassical architecture. And to keep his options open by land, air, or sea, he also has a $100 million mega yacht designed by a nuclear submarine maker from the Russian Navy. According to Fortune, Putin is seen wearing luxury watches like Patek Philippe's perpetual calendar worth $60,000 and a $500,000 A Lange und Sonne tubograph. In 2017, the founder and CEO of Hermitage Capital Management, Bill Browder, claimed that Putin is worth $200 billion. He testified before the US Senate Judiciary Committee and said Putin was the richest man in the world as a result of terrible crimes his government committed. I believe he is worth $200 billion. The purpose of the Putin regime has been to commit terrible crimes in order to get that money, and he doesn't want to lose that money by having it frozen. So, he is personally at risk of the Magnitsky Act, Browder, an investor in Russia, said. Forbes, the universally accepted source of wealth information, has dubbed the former KGB agent the world's most powerful person, but does not estimate his net worth. A spokesperson for the publication told Town & Country earlier this year that's because they haven't been able to figure it out. While Forbes has been able to track money tied to Putin's allies, we have not been able to come up with a defensible, probable estimate of his net worth. According to exiled banker Sergei Pugachev, everything that belongs to the territory of the Russian Federations Putin considers being his. He said that any attempt to calculate Putin's net worth won't succeed. He's the richest person in the world until he leaves power. Whatever the figure is, Putin himself certainly isn't saying. When presented with links to stories cited above, a representative from the Press and Information Office of the President of the Russian Federation responded, "This information has no substance. His wealth is such a big mystery that the Russian is said to be worth more than both Gates and Bezos combined. Even Elon Musk, the richest man on record, says that Putin might be richer than him." The fortune of the Russian spy master is stashed away, however, in offshore tax havens, invested in luxury properties inside and outside Russia, and spread out among the accounts of his family members and trusted friends who hold millions and billions of dollars for their boss. Putin has accumulated wealth by running a mafia-like enterprise where he grants protections or krisha to the oligarchs who occupy every major Russian enterprise in key industries such as oil and gas. He keeps the newly minted capitalists in power and they give him ransom money in exchange. While Putin preaches family values and moral traditions as Russia's alternative to the decadent West, he is actually a cold-blooded tyrant and the incarnations of decadence itself. The decadence was built on billions stolen from the Russian people. Many say people are just envious of his wealth and power. Still, many also say that he is a tyrant and has been ruling Russia more like a monarchy by making his own rules and breaking existing ones to gain the wealth he is rumored to have. Let us know your views in the comments below.